Okay, so we're hoping to do a video in Banff, but well, it's pouring rain, and you can't see any mountains. Those are the Rocky Mountains. We'll go to Canmore instead. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Helena Patience from Entreflow Consulting Group on our cross-provincial tour, talking about how to build a kick-ass team. So we're on our last stop before we hit Calgary. We're here in beautiful Canmore in the Rocky Mountains, somewhere behind the fog. Right now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the importance of training and tracking the progress of your team, the train track approach. So can you imagine walking into your first day at a new job, sitting down at your desk, your empty desk, and there isn't a laptop or someone welcoming you or talking you through the business and what they're all about and the vision, or training you on what your job is all about? This happened to me. I started at a company in Ireland. I showed up. It took them 4 hours to get the laptop ready for me. I got my email set up, but of course I had nobody to contact, so I kind of just played around on the internet for a bit. And then at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, someone had time to sit down with me and actually talk to me about what the company does and what my job was. Wasn't the most welcoming experience. Luckily I was patient and I stayed with the company and had a great time. However, it wasn't a great first impression for me, and it certainly wasn't helpful for me to get cracking on with my work very quickly. So when you have somebody new joining your team, you have to put the time aside to properly onboard and train them. And the best way to do that is to get a number of people on your team to jump in and take on pieces of the onboarding. It gets them the opportunity to interact and meet and get to know other team members, and it also allows those team members to really shine and share what they know with the new member. So we usually put aside at Entreflow, 2 to 3 days for the onboarding. Everyone's got to learn all the new systems. We set some time aside for them to do some certifications and training. They meet with a number of members of the team, and it really just allows them to just jump right in and get to know the team, our systems, and our processes really well from the start, so that we're not fumbling through afterwards. You also need to make sure, like I mentioned, that they have the skills and the tools to really understand all the software that you're using. They might come onto the team and not know how to use your very industry-specific software. So the best thing to do is to get them connected with those software companies to do the training, because they're going to have the best programs there aside for them. And then next is checking in and tracking their progress. So you'd want to have at least once a month for the first couple of months a check-in with them to see how they're doing. Do they have any questions? Is there, are they kind of lost in any areas? And then have a proper formal 3-month review at the end of the 3 months to see, is this what they expected? How are they getting on? And for them to give you some feedback as well. The more feedback you get from your team, the better you're going to grow as a leader, and the better the company is going to do. From there, you still want to keep checking in probably every 3 months for their first year, and make sure that they're progressing and having a great time. And then you certainly need to do a 360 review with everyone on your team at least once a year. And it's 360 because it's a chance for you to chat with them about how their performance is, and it's also a chance for them to give you feedback on how it is working with you. You really need to be looking at it from both sides. A 180 degree is just not going to do it in this day. You're losing out on the ability to really improve your business, your team, and yourself as a leader if you're not reaching out for feedback. One caveat, though, is be prepared to take the feedback and get into action on it right away, if it's reasonable. Obviously, if the feedback is like, oh, we should have a ping pong table in our tiny office and there's no room for it, well, you can say no. But if it's reasonable feedback, then make sure that you actually do take the steps to implement some change right away, because it really shows them that you care about making it an awesome place for them to work. And in your regular one-on-ones too, use that as a time to just check in. I like the start, stop, keep method. So ask them, what do we as a team, and what do you want to start doing, stop doing, and keep doing? It's a good way to just have a quick check-in, so that all the review and performance conversations don't have to be super formal. There's a lot of software out there to help you with tracking these sort of things. If you have and we're going to talk, we talked a little bit about compensation earlier on, but use these reviews as a way to inform what kind of compensation you want to give your team. So what their raises might look like, what their bonus, profit share, or whatever are going to be based on those formal conversations, based on their goals, and based on the company's goals. And really these reviews are really the mechanism for informing the compensation piece. And that's important for people. Money is really important, but also from informing the culture piece of the company, so where the company is going and the structures you have in place to make it an awesome place to work. And a story, because we always love stories. Here's a story of what not to do when you do a 360 review. So I worked at a company once, a very small HR team, and we were rolling out the 360 reviews for the first time. And what we did is we had an anonymous survey online that we had to complete about our team and our manager and our company. And then we would sit with our manager to do our review, so where they would review me and I might give a little bit of feedback to my manager. So most people who know me would know that if you ask me for feedback, you're going to get honest, loving feedback that you might want to hear or not want to hear. And I was very honest in the survey. It turns out that nobody else on my team was honest in the survey. And my boss turned to me and said, "You know that I know what you wrote in the survey, right?" Really, really awkward. Don't do that to people. If when you ask people for feedback, be ready to hear the honest truth that you maybe not want to hear. Take some time to let it sit in, and then get into action. Especially if you hear it from more than one person, there's probably a lot of truth in it. That's all for me from Helena Patience from Entreflow Consulting Group in beautiful Canmore, in the beautiful Rocky Mountains that nobody can see right now. Have a lovely day.